AI practically knows everything there is to know in the world. But the problem is they don't know anything about delivering what you need or giving you exactly what you want. It needs our help, good instructions, good prompting, a good context, so we can get exactly what we want. So it's about that prompting, and that's very important in giving all the information that is needed. And you save a lot of time instead of going back and forth or giving just a one-liner and getting nothing of what you want. You can't give like a one-line prompt and expect like a Michelin star meal served, because then you also have to prompt well. And I have something I call the vibe prompt method. So it's an app for that, which we find here in our productivity apps. And it's called the PromptUp Vibe Prompt Generator. And this one's also based on that vibe, because I've found that by adding vibe to your tone of voice, the AI is going to give you so much better written content than it does with just giving like, I want it friendly, approachable, blah, 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 like the simple just words. If you actually give it you work a little bit on finding your brand voice, and then you layer a vibe on top of that, then it's going to give you so much better text. But this one is producing prompts for you, but it's putting in the vibe in the prompt. So when you give that prompt to the AI that's going to give you the content that you're looking for, then it's already going to get that information from that prompt. So I did test out here. So what did I do? Let me see the example that I actually did here. So I chose my vibe here. You can choose from different types of vibes, and I made them very specific. So go through all of them. I chose for my project that I did here, just a test that I did, I wanted strategic clarity and laser focus on results and ready to share what matters. Yes. So then you don't have to fill out your own, right? So if you choose something here, you don't have to fill out here. But if you want to choose your own, you are able to do that. And then the prompt that I use, it's called the TART-DOSE. So it's made out of its task, audience, role, and tone. So here you can actually choose a simple tone, or here you actually can put in your brand voice in here. If you don't want to choose like the very simple one, you can do that to make it easy for yourself. But if you already found your brand voice, you should put that in here. So if you have like a more of a simple task, it is enough to fill in the top for the TART and not the dose. But if you want to have a more comprehensive project, I suggest also doing those last ones. Just putting in what kind of deliverables do you want? What is the objective? That might be important to put in, but you might not have a lot of steps. But you might sometimes want it to research something and then give you an outline and then give you something more. But if you're using a Genius Assistant, you don't want to do all of that at once. Let it research and give you an outline first. And then you might work on so you agree on the outline, and then you can work on all the parts after that. And you might also have an explanation. It's not necessary. If you don't have anything, it's optional. You might have some information for the links or the format, and you might also have some information that should be excluded. And here you might have an example that would always help them a lot if you can provide examples of exactly what you want, or other knowledge document. You can upload your Genius file here if that's relevant for the prompt, but it might not just be that, because I'd rather then upload the Genius file directly to the Genius Assistant that's helping me. There's no point in uploading that for the prompt. So what it gave me here, my example was I wanted to make like a PDF or like create an outline for an e-guide about easily getting children to bed without hassle or negotiation, incorporating all persuasive digital product elements. And the audience are the parents who are frustrated with bedtime struggles and want practical solutions, beginner to intermediate level of expertise. Role is an expert psychologist in kids and parenting. The tone is empathetic. I found that smart for that one. I didn't actually put in my brand voice because this is not my business. I'm just doing like an example here. And the deliverables in e-guide, outline in PDF format with actionable steps, objective, offer a magnetic low-ticket micro offer to help parents and enable further course sales. Yeah, so that's what I talked about earlier, having like a magnetic micro offer that will get them into your world and have them trust you and like you, and then they might want to buy your course, that's the example that I have here. And then steps relate to the parent's struggle, address the problems, present a general solution, then detail elements that help children relax and fall asleep easily. So I actually gave some inputs on steps here because I saw what parts I kind of wanted in that PDF. So I kind of wanted them to go into the problem first and all of that. And I also gave some stuff in the explanation. Parents spend hours on bedtime hassles, losing valuable adult time. They're looking for results and clear, actionable steps to solve this issue. And yeah, so that's what I want, is to provide a well-structured outline of the e-guide. And then it's giving me a narrative prompt format here. Assume the role of an expert psychologist specializing in kids and parenting. I want you to create an outline for an e-guide designed to help parents effortlessly get their children to bed, avoiding stress, hassle, or drawn-out negotiations. Approach this with strategic clarity, focus on results, provide just what matters, and guide parents efficiently through the process. Your tone should always be empathetic, validating the frustration parents feel while also offering expert, actionable guidance. The outline should include an introduction that relates to the parent's pain points, a concise overview why this problem occurs, a high-level general solution, and a detailed breakdown of all actionable elements and strategies to help kids relax and transition to sleep. Make sure this e-guide functions as a persuasive low-ticket micro offer that is magnetic enough to draw parents in and primes them for your course. The final output should be a clear, actionable outline suitable for a downloadable PDF. If anything is unclear or requires more details, ask for clarification. And this is always good to have at the end of any prompt, is that ask for more clarification if there's something's missing. Because I did test this out, and I'm going to show you that. And I got some questions because obviously this is not an offer I have or not my business at all. So I hadn't thought out everything that was needed either. But look at this prompt, because this is, I'm going to assume that you would not, have written something exactly like this. But this makes it possible if you fill in, because the input fills then takes you step by step, and it makes you think about what it is exactly that I'm looking for here. And then you're going to get a whole lot better prompt once you thought about it, but then it also puts everything into perspective. And then you actually just go here and you copy that. And then what I did, then I went to Cody. And let's see, I actually tested here. So then I put that in here. And he's going to be asking you for the PromptUp the Genius file because he wants that information. So if I've had a Genius file for if this was my business, I could have uploaded that. But obviously, it's not my business, and I don't have a Genius file for this exact business. So that was hard for me to do. But then he might have gotten all the answers that was kind of missing here. So then I pasted that in here. And then he comes back to me. I can create a clear, effective outline for your e-guide. But before I do, could you clarify? What is the age range of the children that you are targeting? Is it toddlers, early elementary, tweens? Do you have any unique methods, philosophies, or signature strategies you want included or highlighted? Which is obviously very important for me having a PDF for specific ways to get your children to bed. And that would be needed. I see that. And once I have this info, I will whip up an outline that's persuasive, parent-friendly, and positions your micro offer as an essential sleep solution. So then I just give a little bit more information here, and then I figured out, I don't really know. I don't have children's. I don't know why I chose this, but But I just thought, what would I think was fun if I went to bed? Or why would I want to go to that bed? Because I remember I'd have a hard time leaving the TV and I was crying really hard, didn't want to go from the TV, didn't want to go to bed. But I was just thinking, what if it was something fun waiting for me there? So I had just made up something. And so my signature strategy for, getting kids to go to sleep and go to bed is to let them wear a wig in bed. That's my solution. Oh, it's perfect solution. So we're going to have a big basket of a lot of wigs that the kids can choose from what wig they want to have. So that's my signature solution for this. So you're making bedtime fun. Yeah. And then reading and slowing down after that. Yeah. So then it kind of gives me the outline, introduction to bedtime battle is read, why the bedtime struggle happens. And then the next chapter is the effortless bedtime solution, the signature strategy. Make bedtime something kids look forward to, not a battle to avoid. Give them a small, silly power. Let them choose a wig to wear for bed. So I know that's a bit silly, but why not? It could work. Routines that work, follow fun with calm, layer the wig ritual with reading and winding down. All right. And then actionable bedtime elements, strategies, set the stage, the wig choosing ritual, transition to calm, gentle wind down, and the positive close. So it's building out a lot of the things that I've wanted to have. And then pro tips for bedtime success, troubleshooting, and quick wins. Your next step, make every night a win, download checklist and sample routine. And I'm saying this sounds good. Can we now build it out chapter by chapter? Absolutely. Let's start with chapter 1, introduction. And then it asked me a little bit more here because then we're going into the problem. And so then he wants to know a little bit more about who they are. So even if you don't get everything correct, and like I hadn't all the details in the prompt, he's going to ask you if there's missing something. And thank you for that context. So let's build out chapter 1 with a strong connection to both working moms looking for better solutions and the dads often in charge of bedtime. And then it starts filling out chapter 1, and I didn't build the full PDF because this is not a business that I have, but this is a way to make a digital product. So, but also I wanted to show you how this is all connected, because if I wanted to build this digital product, then I would upload the Genius file and Cody would know everything about my business. And then by having the Vibe voice would also maybe be in the Genius file, but you could also prompt that in a prompt. But then you can use the PromptUp app to actually build out the prompt on what you want to do. But you don't need to use the PromptUp app. You can just start talking to Cody and uploading your Genius file and just let him lead you the way and just discuss with him. I usually and often do that. But if there's something, a specific project kind of like this that I wanted a more specific product or a blog or something, then I would maybe go make that prompt. And it makes you think more about also what you need. So it might be an idea. But I wanted just to show the context of everything, how it's all connected. You have your business, your clarity, using all the apps to get that clarity, then filling out your Genius file, found up your Genius file, filling that out. And then once you have your Genius file, everything about AI is going to be so much easier for you. And then you're going to explore and find so many new ways that AI is going to help you. And obviously we have a lot of content apps, offer apps, and there's a lot of visual apps, the videos, all social media. There's a lot here that I can use every day. Once you have the Genius file, you're going to pop out content like that very, very easily. I can stop my sharing here now. So it's from clarity to content that clicks, right? So how to brief the AI tools using your Genius file and the Vibe prompt method and your Vibe brand voice, or just a brand voice. These things really work together. And there are apps to also have the human up under content that can humanize your text as well for specific content, and using this in the repurpose app to get lot of content, well, then you kind of use content from before, but you would want it in your vibe voice. And then you can also upload your Genius file so it can really relate it to your business. But AI can know everything, but it can't guess your business. So it's kind of like everybody says about AI, garbage in is going to give you garbage out. And so it's so important that it has the information about you. And if you want the copy that sounds like you or even better than you, because that's what I say, I find that AI writes better than me, but I really do know what I want. But I'm not English. I'm English as a second language, right? So it's not my primary language. So then AI really helps me with that. But I'm very adamant about what I actually want of content or how I want it to sound and all of that. So for me, adding my rebellious spark vibe to my brand voice really gets that punchy, sassy little tone that I want in my content. And that's been my branding now. And it works with AI. You shouldn't be afraid that, because a lot of people are afraid that AI or that the content is going to sound like AI. And there's a lot of content that really sounds like AI because there's some words or phrases or sentences that really gives it away. And I hate those words. And AI can actually be, they can have humor and be funny too. They kind of give you some jokes sometimes, but because I've been trying to tell it, no, don't here's the kicker. I see that everywhere. I mean, that was normal language for some people before, but AI is overusing it. If I see that, oh, okay, AI wrote this. And I don't think it's wrong that AI write this as long as it's good. Because what's important is get the robotic tone away, make it sound like you, and don't have a generic, vague, or any template feel at all. And it needs to have some kind of emotional connection. So people are gonna, I think they're more concerned with, is this giving me something? Is this making me feel anything? Is it helping me in any way? They're gonna look more to that, or like they're not gonna like dissect it to find out if it's made by AI. But the whole point of that is making the AI sound more like you or in the voice that you want to, and that's totally possible. But you need to put a little bit of work with it, but we made it quite possible here in Soul and Genius with the apps that can help you find that vibe. And I feel I work very well. So test it out. It's not always going to be perfect on the first try, but you have to test back and forth and kind of find your way. And once you find that voice, it's going to be so much better for you. And then you have it most times. And then of course you can add different types of vibes and layer that on top. And if it's different types of content or different mood you have that day, if it's for a social post or something. All right. And so we've been through the Genius file and all the apps and all that. So we kind of went through a lot today. But I feel like it's a bird's eye view of Solar Genius and how this can help you in your business and how this clarity can help you. So I feel like we kind of went through all the framework on what you can get from Solar Genius and how it's going to help you and how you can work with it.